What's going on, guys? It's Hal out of Miners here. So I'm having an issue with one of my rigs. Wanted to show it to you guys real quick. As you can see here, we do have 96 on the mem temps. If you guys have not seen how to get memory temperatures on newer NVIDIA cards, I'll link a video in the description as well as put it right here in the top left corner. This 96 is actually not accurate. This should be substantially higher. I actually underclocked this quite a bit to see if I can get it to cool down, but really where it was at is almost 102, 103 degrees. So I figured instead of me just replacing these thermal pads, I'm actually going to show you guys how to open up this card. It is a MSI Ventus 3080. So we're going to open it up and show you guys how to change those thermal pads. Alright guys, so here we have our MSI 3080 Ventus. As you guys can see, this is the card that we're working with. Now, one of the things that I highly recommend when you guys first take these cards out, just go ahead and blow it off. Use some canned air, blow these off, make sure that they're nice and clean. But let me just go through some of the things that we're going to be using. My Thermalk Paste. And all this will be linked in the description below. Will be affiliate links, so it does support the channel. So I'd appreciate that. So for pads, I really love these pads. Again, these will be linked in the description below. We have our digital calibrator to make sure that we're putting the right millimeter on there. Let's get you guys a little closer here. How about that? Perfect. You got alcohol, which you're going to need to clean off the Thermalk Paste. I have my IFixit kit. Also have a box cutter, and then something hard to actually cut the thermal pads out. So let's go ahead and take this apart. So these iFixit kits I love because they come with this little tray that you can put your screws in. So with this particular card, these two outside screws, and then these two screws right here and right here, those are all long skinny screws, whereas the rest of these screws are all the same size. These 4 screws you do need to unscrew, but this actual metallic plate will come completely off and the screws will stay with it. So let's go ahead and just remove these. Alright guys, so as I said, this whole metallic plate actually just comes straight off and those screws will stay on there. So with this particular card, the only thing that you really need to worry about is the 2 connectors here on the bottom. So we're just going to go ahead and pull this apart here. Perfect. Alright guys, so here's our card. Wow. Let me see if I can show you guys this. Look at this card. See if this you see how much oil is on those. This hadn't really been mining all that long. You can just tell it's a little bit harder with this, but there's so much oil on these pads. So we're gonna go ahead and clean this up. And if these fall apart, that's completely fine, guys. Don't worry about that. Just throw them off here to the side. I'll try to get one that's somewhat a decent size. Here we go. Now we're going to take our digital calibrator and actually measure one of these out. You want to make sure that you're not squishing it. Yep, so these are roughly around 3. So you guys can see that right there. So these are 3mm. That's the pads that we have. So we're just going to remove the rest of this here. Man, oh man, these fall apart. I try to keep some of these together because I like to utilize the old ones to measure out the new ones. So it's a good one there for the top. These two side ones are the same length. So I got this first one that fell apart, but this one I use for the length for these two, and then this one I use the length for the top. We'll want to make sure that we get the bottom off here without any issues. Perfect. So now we're going to clean this whole heat sink off. We're going to clean this thermal paste off. We're going to go ahead and replace this with the thermal paste that we have over here. So I'll go ahead and do that for you guys. Now this IFixit kit that I have is the bigger one. That's the one I'll link in the description. I really like this kit because it has this tool right here. I absolutely love this tool. I'll show you guys why. This actually really makes it nice to get into these crevices here. Perfect. So let me try to show this to you guys here. Of course, this is going to be a little difficult. So as you guys can see, nice and clean. We got all these crevices clean here. So what we're going to do is take our thermal paste, or excuse me, our new thermal pads. So this thermal pads come with the one that you pull off. So you pull off that side, the other side also has plastic on it. Oops, sorry guys. So this has a thing that you actually go ahead and rip off this side. So this is the side that you'll cut. This side has plastic as well. So we'll be placing these this way to make sure that we get them lined up correctly. And then we'll go ahead and pull the other side off. So I'm going to go ahead and cut these. Again, what I'm using for reference is just these old pads here. And we'll cut them out to these shapes. And I'll see you guys in a second. Alright guys, for those of you who are wondering, this is what I have left of that thermal pads that I had before, so you guys can kind of see. You pretty much use one of these per cards, but I went ahead. I have my single, and I think I'm actually going to cut this out a little bigger. I have my medium size, and then I have two of the larger sizes. So we're just going to go ahead and place these exactly where they go on these. Guys, this doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it as close as possible. This one goes on the top, and this flips. So this one's going to go on the top here. The smaller one is going to go right down here on this one. Ooh. Actually, put it this way. Perfect. Alright, as easy as that, guys. So what we're going to do is we're going to put a little bit of our thermal paste on here. You don't want to go too crazy. You can always add. You can never subtract. I take this same tool that I was using before, guys, and I use this end. What I really do here is just kind of move this around and cover this entire chip here. Alright guys, that's all there is to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset this. Make sure that you Go ahead and pull the plastic off the back side of these. Alright. That one moved a little bit. Put it back where it belongs here. So what we're going to do is we're actually going to pick this up. We're going to reset this here. Okay, so all the holes are lined up. So what we want to do is we want to look in here. What we're really looking for is to make sure any of those pads moved. I don't see any of the pads that moved. So that looks really, really good. So we're going to go ahead and screw this back in. Alright guys, let's one more time here, visual check. Everything down in there looks nice and tight and good. Same thing on this side. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to plug this back up, let it mine for a little bit, and we'll show you guys the results. Alright guys, so we're back here at the miner. As you guys can see, we got way better thermal temperatures, right about 80 degrees Celsius. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to hit that like button and go ahead and subscribe for more videos. We're going to be making tons of content. If you want to see something specific, throw it in the comments below. We'll see you guys next time.